Hello, this is Pearl, and you have just tuned into Woo Q Friday. I got a couple of questions for Friday's Woo Q. So let me go over those questions with you. In case you didn't know, I'm Pearl Bertrand, co-founder of the Academy of Energy Healers here in Utah, Salt Lake City area. And my business partner, Kana Teagan, and I founded the Academy of Energy Healers. Let me get to that first question. What is your interpretation of the pineal chakra's role? And a second question that I received was, what is divine timing and how do we work with it? Let me answer the first question. What is your interpretation of the pineal chakra's role? As you know, in our body, we have glands, and each gland actually has a chakra associated with it. And then in the most accepted chakra system, there are 7. And the third eye is at the pineal gland. I accept that as part of a general acceptance. The pineal gland is sort of a pine cone shaped gland in the endocrine system. It's really a very essential part of our brain. We need it to survive, and it is often associated with the third eye, and that chakra is also known as the Ajna chakra. And when it is activated, it leads us to higher realms, higher states of consciousness, higher vibrations. And when it's not used, it can become crusty and crystalline and non-functioning. So the pineal chakra's role is with the pineal gland, and it is for the third eye that raises our consciousness. The third eye gives us our perception of the universe through our 5 senses, and that's how we get our self-awareness, our intelligence, what makes us sentient beings. And as a chakra, that third eye, or the pineal gland, represents the point at which the body receives energy from the universe, from the sunshine, from the moonshine, from the universe, and it keeps our lives going. And the main access point between our astral body and our physical body is this pineal gland, and the pineal chakra in its function in the brain is really essential too for our consciousness. And without awareness of the universe, we don't really have a point of reference for self-awareness. And some say that when the Ajna chakra, pineal gland, third eye chakra, is combined with the Alta chakra, and I've shown these on a little diagram, the Alta and the Ajna around the head. Some say that when these two are combined, this is how we get our halo. I like that a lot. Okay, let me move on to the next question, which is, what is divine timing and how do we work with it? So there's so many ideas out there about divine timing and how it works. You could read and listen to those, sure, anytime. But this version is just according to Pearl, and I don't I don't make any apologies for what I think and say. So it's just according to me. And based on divine timing, I have a little story. This past week, my business partner, whom I've said is Conna Teagan, was making a light language grid. This is part of our trainings that we do to teach others to make these. And the grid was to attract her mate. She finished the grid and started to work on the second grid, a community grid that's needed in order to activate the mate grid. And she suddenly was feeling a little sick, a little sad, a little uncomfortable, all at the same time about this grid. So it was making her feel not well. And she didn't get why, and I didn't get why. So I asked her to stand up and do a sway test for muscle testing. This is just one method of muscle testing, and it's the easiest to do. So the question she asked herself is, is now the time for the grid? And she immediately swayed backwards, having a no response. So it was a no. And okay, that explained how she was feeling a little bit. And a day or two later, after adjusting the grid and making the second grid, she did a sway test again, and this test was a yes. So that looks like she had written the wrong grid for what she needed, and in divine timing, she had more to do and adjust to get what she was wanting to move forward with. So as you go along in your manifesting path, and you have some good momentum going forward, and then something gets in the way, or too much time passes by, or what you thought you were manifesting just doesn't materialize, the timing may not be right, or it may not be right now. If you wanted a new house, maybe someone else lives in the house right now. If you wanted a new job, maybe the ideal job is not available right now. So the other thing that comes up is resistance. So perhaps we're in resistance to our own manifesting, and we just blame it on divine timing or say that it's divine timing. So we do have control over our own resistance, obviously, but we can't touch divine timing. That's out of our control. We want to make sure, though, that we know what's driving us. We have control over that. As time passes, we're able to figure out, well, what happened when our manifesting didn't turn out? But what we didn't see before that got in our way is what we can see after time passes. If we can keep a check on our own resistance to what we want to manifest, that would be the best in all worlds. If you are staying open to all possibilities, my belief is that's your key. Because if you're open to all possibilities, then divine timing can deliver. And what you want to manifest essentially is a series of little miracles chained together to work it out for you, what you are manifesting. And then be patient. And maybe you can muscle test and find out if it's now or not now or later. So divine timing versus your resistance, and maybe you're on delay and maybe divine timing's on delay, but just be open to all possibilities. And ask another woo-woo question next week. And thanks for showing up.